Last night I was at the Stars and Hearts Gala, and now I'm headed towards a movie set for recording day 3 or something. And let me tell you the one thing I realized hanging around the richest people in Miami at the Stars and Hearts Gala. That was on the 9th at Wynwood, at Manor Wynwood. And these millionaires understand everything I've been speaking of the past couple months that I've been preaching on here. And they have an adapt understanding of representation. They have an adapt understanding of representation and what it means to really show out. They also completely understand how important it is the type of woman that you choose to have in your life, because she's an extension of yourself as well, and vice versa for women. Every guy, every millionaire, every billionaire that walked through that door had a woman or two on his arms, and these were the most feminine women I've seen in my entire life. And I've hung around some very feminine women that I've even called my own, but this just ups the par for me. Hanging around wealth is a luxury that no people really talk about. Even if you're so close to bottom, by just hanging around the people that you envision yourself becoming, it already grants you so much power towards that journey on your life. Seeing these men dressed in suits head to toe really had inspired my own self, and it would inspire all of you to represent yourself in that type of manner. Now I'm wearing suits a lot more often ever since going here, and the way you dress, how you show yourself, does have a powerful impact on the remainder of your life, especially on how people view you in your life. This is an exact point that I talk about in my book on self branding. The reason most people fail is because they think some things do not matter, when in fact every action that you take in your life matters. Every cheat day matters. Just because you've worked hard 6 days out of the week and you think you can have a cheat day on the 7th day, it doesn't just eliminate that day off of your calendar. That day is still there. That day still happened, and that day you chose to eat terribly. You chose to drink like an idiot. And that day, you chose to hang around the worst influences or spend the most money you could on that one day, thinking it's okay. It's just for today. And then next week you do it again, and next week you do it again. You know what that's called? They teach you it in school. It's called compounding. All of that adds up. And I know this because there was once upon a time in my life where I was strict on my own self, but then I started taking days to myself, inspired to me by the woman I was with at the time. And now all of that is coming to bite me in the ass. I feel a tad bit less driven, a tad bit less ambitious. I make a tad bit more excuses for myself when I ignore my tasks for the day. Now, yes, of course, you're going to have bad days out of the month, out of the year, and out of the week. But that 1 or 2 or 3 significant bad days out of 30 days in a whole month isn't much compared to all of the good days you've had. And the way that you view your failures, if you were to call it that, me personally, I just call it having an off day, having a bad day, which I have once every 2 weeks, which is completely normal. But just because I'm having a bad day doesn't give me the right to say fuck all and fuck up the rest of my day. Now, I don't have a definite point for this video. I just have a long drive ahead of me, so I figured I might as well get some recording in. But my whole niche is self-branding. You put yourself out there as the person that you aspire to be. And that person, the rent is due on that every single day. The point I'm trying to get at currently is that every day counts. Every second counts, every minute counts, every action in your life does count toward you. Either the way you view yourself, either the promises you make to yourself that you choose to break that is giving you self-doubt. All of this has an effect on you. And you not keeping the promises to yourself breaks down your confidence over time. Eventually, other people not trusting you, your own confidence lacking. I'm out here pointing a gun with my hand. The point of this is that every time you tell yourself that it's okay, every time you tell yourself that it's just this one time, is another chip at your sense of self, is another chip at your consciousness and confidence that is getting slowly eaten away. Discipline is a one-way street, and you don't get to choose when or when not you're going to be disciplined. Discipline is a very indicating factor in life. It's a lifestyle for sure. And you don't get to just switch up on your lifestyle every now and again because you've worked so hard at it the whole week, the whole month. You think you deserve this. You don't deserve this. You want to know why? Because you still aren't at the end goal that you're trying to achieve. Maybe no, once you do make it to the top exactly where you're trying to get to, sure, you can fuck around a little bit because you have all of that insurance and assets behind you. But as of now, you don't. And so every day that you think that it's okay to have a cheat day, to do this unnecessary and harmful action, is think of it as another month you're being set back. Think of it as more time being put in between you and your end goal. Now, it's been a while since I've been to gala. I've been to charity galas, and this was in a form of charity gala, and it was for the Little Light Foundation, which goes towards struggling children. Now, I've attended this, and I've shaken hands with the most millionaires and a couple billionaires that have attended this event. And the one thing I learned is that they truly don't go to these charity galas to donate to charity. I mean, sure, some of them do, but the main factor of why they're there is to connect and to network with other people. And so everybody is going around getting to know each other, exchanging information, talking business, talking class. To me, rich is what you see all these rappers posting about in their Miami lifestyle. Rich to me is thinking you can act however you want just because you have a sum of money. Now, wealthy is acting with a certain amount of class. Wealth is not within just your money, but your representation. Wealth is in how you behave and how you conduct yourself in situations. Wealth is how you treat and speak to others and how you represent yourself within how you dress. Wealth is within your self-respect. It's within purpose. It isn't about the chase or the pursuit of money. It is about the chase and pursuit of purpose. My apologies, camera got cut off. Now I'm leaving set and my voice is almost gone. The point of what I was trying to make earlier, if I could remember it correctly, is that putting yourselves in certain situations that actually feed the lifestyle you want to live is probably one of the most beneficial things you can ever thank yourself for. Because me going to gala, going to set even, and meeting the types of people that I meet there makes me myself want to be a better person. And in my life, I always had role models or mentors that had set me on the path that I am on, and I'm very fortunate for that. I realize a lot of you don't have the same fortunes that I have with having mentors, with having role models, with meeting the types of people I meet, or being in the certain circumstances. But if you want to change that around, it starts with really cutting off the people, the places, or the environments that really dictate and deter you away from the lifestyle you want to live. Why am I on the highway and I'm stopped? Not only does just being around these types of people fuel your lifestyle or fuel your battery, but also the knowledge and wisdom you can gain from them is immense. Talking to these people, pretending I'm on their level, and they treat me as an equal, sharing to me information that I cannot get online. These people are happy to talk about themselves. They're happy to talk about how they made it to where they are in life currently. And me, myself, I'm an amazing listener. So I sit there and I listen and I absorb all of the information that these wealthy, not rich, wealthy people have to share with me. And a lot of it had to do with things I've been preaching. A lot of it didn't have to just do with money. A lot of it had to do with the choices they made along the way, down to the way they dressed, to the women they choose. And I'm envious of those too, because you can't find that often. And in order to find that, you yourself would have to be a man that would put a woman in her femininity and not within her masculinity. The point I'm making is that everything counts. Not just what you choose to count is going to count. Every action, every word you choose to say to yourself, every phrase you put out into the world about others is an action that can either deter you or put you onto a path towards your goal lifestyle. But anyways, from hanging around billionaires and millionaires and going to sets to meet and work with the most known celebrities, these are the things you learn. And you know what? I'm going to talk about things I've learned by meeting celebrities on set on a day-to-day basis and tell you guys the ins and outs about that, because celebrities are just normal people. You know, they talk to you like a normal person, they laugh with you like a normal individual and hold conversations with you. It to them it doesn't matter status. They're having fun and creating a fun environment and want everybody to be a part of that. But anyways, I'll go into that one a lot more deeper the next time. And everything that I've been saying, it goes a lot more in depth on my ebook that you can check out online on self-branding. So one, check it out, and two, you don't have to check it out. My book isn't for everybody, but for those that are intrigued, please do. If not, I wish you the absolute best within your endeavors, because not all the answers are in my book, but I believe some of them are. And it all begins with your self image, because if you don't have an upstanding image of yourself, you have a terrible outlook on how the world views you. I had the sunblock all the time.